Most people think the iPhone's dynamic island exists because of the Face ID sensors. It doesn't. In fact, Apple could have used a simple punch hole like Android for the front camera and Face ID would still work. So why didn't they? Well, let's unpack this. Look at any modern Android phone. Clean display, tiny punch hole, minimal distraction. That's the goal the Android world has been fighting for years, making the camera disappear. Now look at an iPhone. Apple did the opposite. They took a bigger cutout and made sure you notice it. That alone should tell you something is different here. It follows exactly the original psychology they started with. Think different. Apple knew that 95% of all phones now have punch holes. And if their phone has the same thing, it would be easy to mistake it as an Android. Apple is so obsessed with being different that it made a different kind of cutout altogether that distinguishes them from all other phones. But that's just the surface answer. It goes way deeper than this. Because here's the shift most people miss. The dynamic island is not just a camera cutout, it's a UI layer, a permanent space on your screen that Apple owns, controls, and can evolve. And that changes how the entire phone behaves. Think about notifications for a second. On most phones, they show up, interrupt you, then vanish. They are temporary. But the dynamic island doesn't just notify you, it stays. Music keeps playing there, timers keep counting, calls stay visible, navigation lives there. It's not an interruption, it's a live system. They obviously didn't just use the negative space for vain, but rather transformed it into something useful, making it one of the rare times Apple has actually innovated in recent times. And that's where the real strategy kicks in, creation of a new interaction model. Now instead of opening apps constantly, you glance at the top of your screen and get a bulk of live info through it. It becomes a habit, subtle but powerful. But let's go back to Face ID for a second, because yes, it does need more hardware than a punch hole. Infrared camera, dot projector, sensors, that's why the cutout is bigger. But here's the key. Apple could have just hidden it better. In fact, that's something that is heavily rumored for this year's iPhone, shrinking the dynamic island into the circle the size of a camera, and all other sensors below the screen. But as of now, they haven't. And this is where Android falls behind, not because they can't build the same thing, but because they can't standardize it. Every Android phone is different. Different shapes, different placements, different software layers. So even if one company tried something like Dynamic Island, it wouldn't become universal. It wouldn't become a habit. It would just be a feature. Exactly how the Android world is doing now, copying the UI elements of the island. Apple doesn't build features like that. They build systems. And once the Dynamic Island exists, every app can plug into it. So now the Dynamic Island is doing three jobs at once. It houses sensors, it acts as a UI system, and it reinforces Apple's identity. That's not accidental, that is design thinking at a very high level. And in Jobs' words, design is how it works. So no, the Dynamic Island isn't really for Face ID. The real reason it came into being is control. Control over design, interaction, and how you use your phone every single day. If you liked this deep dive into the Dynamic Island, I think you would really enjoy watching and understanding the other type of display cutouts phones use. Tap on the video to watch it now. And please hit like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And I'll see you in the next one.